Hey everyone, welcome to another session. This week we're going to be talking about prospecting with purpose using the four pillars. And this is all part of the five-star launch program. And so this is class number 7. So if you've made it to some previous classes or intend to make some of the others, they're always kind of rolling in a circle. So if you've missed 1 and 2 or you're on vacation on week 4, you can catch them online in five-star education under the launch program, or you can pop in. This is sort of a longer version of it, an opportunity for us to just interact with each other and bounce ideas off each other because I think we all learn better when we're in a setting where we can share. So
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So good to see everybody today. I'm going to start it off with the bang.
good,
How,
I like it.
yeah, how much time building our business should we spend prospecting? Anybody? What do you think?
All of it.
Ooh,
All of
nice
it. Who
answer.
said that? Mike?
Mike Ewing.
Yeah.
Love it. All of it, right? Like there's all these choices. You have education, knowledge, contracts, networking, marketing, prospecting. And I think where we really need to get better at the understanding of how often we should be prospecting. And that's correct all the time.
Yeah,
And sometimes we want to build our website, and those are all good things. We want to do some branding, that's all good things. We do the transaction, those are all good things, but we should always be prospecting.
yeah,
Minimum of 80% of your day should be out networking and talking to people and connecting with others. And
yeah.
that is what's going to drive your business, is that connection.
Yeah, and what I like about that is, and this is kind of a shift in what we've been saying, like even in just the last 6 or 8 months, is that when you're a new to industry agent, you have one thing on your, and that is time, because
Mhm.
you don't have clients yet. And so we used to say 50% of your time, but you know what? If we said 50% of your time, maybe agents were doing it 20% of the time. So if we say 80, maybe we'll get 50. But by putting a big number on it like that just says how much emphasis really needs to be in prospecting, because prospecting really means one thing: connecting. And that's
Connecting.
really what prospecting is all about. It's like you're like, I gave Kim the example this morning of being a farmer. Oh no, it wasn't Kim, it was Deborah Katz I was talking to about being a farmer.
Mhm.
And what a farmer does is like he has this incredibly large job where he's working all the time, tirelessly, day and night. And in the dark, he comes home exhausted. He goes to bed, he gets up, he goes back to work, he looks at the soil, nothing's happening. There's nothing happening here. I'm looking at the ground, there's nothing happening, right? And he does this over and over and over until finally the days are longer, the sun is brighter, the temperatures have come up, and suddenly all of his hard work paid off. So
Mhm.
80% of his time was out in the field. And that's sort of what we're really thinking about when we're thinking about all of you thinking about starting a business. And this is
Mhm.
what I said to you earlier, Kim, was if anybody watched Paul and Greg yesterday, their live stream? Paul and Greg's live stream, Greg talked about this one thing and he said, I hate it when I do that raise my hand thing. I need to keep my hand
Oh.
down. Is Greg said, you've decided to start a business. And when you decide to be a business owner, you should also be thinking about how do I grow a business? And that's really what we're going to be talking about today is how do I grow a business?
And the beauty of this is regardless of where you are, whether you're just beginning, whether you've been in the business for a short amount of time, 10 years, 20 years, the principles are always going to be the same.
Mhm.
And so maybe you're in February, you're wondering where are my transactions going to come from this year, which happens to every agent because you're busy, working, your pipeline's flowing, and then all of a sudden there's a stall. And the winter months hit, the market changes, whatever it is. The principles will work the same, and that is stay in front of people, continue to be with people, connect with people, be around those you know, like, and trust, show value, be sincere. And if you are doing that every single day, then you can revamp your business. I've given the example of I had a very healthy business, then I went through some challenges in life. And then I went into brokering. One of the brokers wouldn't allow me to sell. So I didn't keep up on my business. But a few years ago, I decided to start spending more time connecting with people. And just by connecting, I started having more sales. So set some goals. As we're talking today, set some goals. Ask yourself a couple of questions. Am I connecting with people? I'll be the first to raise my hand in January. I didn't leave my house very much. I didn't connect with very many people. I just didn't. And, be honest with yourself, like how much am I doing this? Be real, and how much should I be doing it? And the key to it is do it in small steps. Like I had to say to myself, okay, Kim, if anybody asks you to get together, even if you don't know them, the answer is going to be yes. I have gone some places that I may not have loved being, but I went. I did things I may not have enjoyed doing, but I did it to get that jump start. So we want you to be thinking about what are you doing now? How are you connecting? Who are you connecting with? And how can you do it more? Because that's going to be the lifeline of your business.
Yep,
So,
yep.
yep.
Yeah. So 80% of your time, I like telling when I talk to new to industry agents, I always say to them, this is a great business. It
Hmm.
is. It's a great business. You can be new to town. Like I just moved to town. I don't know anybody. I've lived here my whole life. I know lots of people. I'm an introvert. I don't like leaving my house. I mean, like talking to people. Or I'm an extrovert. I meet people wherever I go. I don't care who you are or what one of those things you fit in that I just described. This business can be for you if
Hmm.
you decide that you have grit and you're going to invest yourself in that 80% rule.
Hmm. That's one of the things Greg Carlson has always said is when an agent asks him or one of our team, uh, how much money can I make in this business? How fast can I build this business? How long will it take? And often I've heard him say, I don't know what kind of grit you have.
Mm.
And there are agents that come in that we think will never make it, and they make it strongly. We have other agents that come in, we help every agent the same, and because we don't know which one will have the grit and will make it work. And there's others that come in that you just think they are just going to nail it, and they're gone in 6 months or a year. So it's really important. And I had a conversation with the new to industry agent who's thinking of getting their license a couple days ago. And I had this very conversation. What is your grit? What is your sphere? I've always asked them, what's your sphere? How social are you? And how willing are you to do what it takes to make this business work? And it is very much based. There are three parts to it, and our launch program is called Get, Know, and Do. And you do need to be knowing the business and doing the business, but getting the business should be a daily routine. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about different ways. There are so many paths, 20, 30 different paths of getting business. So we want to talk about those today. And what I want you to be thinking about is what can I commit to? What am I good at? Where should I be spending my time? Because we don't want you, if you hate cooking, to take a cooking class. But if you love playing cards, then we want you to start a group and go play cards. So if you love tennis, then go play tennis. Because one of the beauties of this business is you can do what you love and still make connections. And guess what? I was volunteering a few months ago, and I just started in this group, and they eventually will say, what do you do? So I was volunteering at this organization, and we're hanging around chatting because things were getting kind of slow. And guess what he said? One of the other members there looked at me and goes, oh, so are there homes for sale in South Haven? I mean, that's all you're looking for. Right now, we want to have genuine relationships. Always keep that's the foundation of it. But eventually, they're going to ask you one word, one sentence. What sentence? What is that? What's the one sentence that they're going to say to you? Most people.
What do you do for a living? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, or looking for how's the market?
Oh yeah, they know that you're the expert. You
Yeah.
immediately when they find out you're a realtor, I remember hearing that from Greg Carlson as well. You immediately become the expert the moment you get
Mhm.
licensed because
Mhm.
you already know more than the person across the table from you. You become their expert.
Mhm. Mhm. So let's talk about that. So one of the
This,
things,
let's talk about this right
yeah,
here.
let's talk
This
about
how,
that. The
yeah,
phone.
go
Sure.
ahead. Yeah, go
All
ahead.
right. So Tracy just raised up her phone. That is one of the most powerful tools you have in your hand right now. I want you to look at your phone.
Well, yeah. Does everyone have their phone in front of you? Let's see how close everyone has their phone. Mine is usually like right here, or in my hand. So everyone has this tool, this right
Yep.
here. So go ahead, Kim.
Yep. So if you go over to contacts, it'll say all contacts. Who wants to go first? How many contacts do you have in there? All right, I'll go first. 1,873. Who
Mine is,
else?
I went to contacts, but mine is not showing my number like it used to.
I know. If you go to contacts, you have to go back one. Hit the back bar one, and then it'll show you the
Oh,
list.
okay.
Got it?
Yep.
Everybody else?
4,970.
How many?
4,970.
Do you think you could get 100 really good contacts out of there to add to a database out of 4,000 plus?
Yeah. I would think so. I would think this is a really good resource that I have in my hand right here.
Anybody else want to share?
I have
No?
I have 418.
2,720.
2720 from Joni. What'd you have, Jill?
418.
Yep.
418. Okay, anybody else?
But you know what's fun about that, Jill? What's fun about that is let's look at that 6 months from now and then 1 year from now, because you're really going to see an expansion if you're being a connector. So I like that.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? So then what do you do with it? What are we doing with our phone? What do you are you can you dive in there and find some people that you might be able to help buy or sell homes? Anybody? We're awfully
I,
quiet
I,
today.
Cindy?
Absolutely. But I look at every opportunity for real estate, no matter what. I love real estate because it goes with you wherever you go. So you call somebody on the phone, whether you're at the doctor's office and that, it's all going to depend on the impression you leave on them. And when they call, a lot of times I'll let it go into my voicemail because it says Cindy Beckwith, 5-star real estate, because you never know. So I think yeah, I think the littlest things are the biggest opportunities.
Yeah.
Hmm. So let's
Wasn't
think
it Lee
about this.
Brown? Didn't you have a Lee? Wasn't there a Lee Brown story about what she did, Kim?
I'm trying to think which one.
She talked about scrolling through your phone and just like this is going to be like a what do you call that when you go to the casino. Boom,
Oh,
just
like
spin
pulling
through
the
it.
hand up.
What name comes up? That's what I'm calling today.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just make it a game. Have fun.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know, the thing is that your friends, usually when they're in your phone, they know you. If you're friends with them on social media, you might know them at a different level. You might have several social media accounts, but they already know you and they like you.
Hmm.
Now your job is to figure out, how do I take this sphere of influence that I have, this window into this world of people who call me their friend? How do I help them understand that I'm not just Tracy, the stay-at-home mom who is a volunteer at church, right? How do I let them know that I could be their trusted advisor? That's
Hmm.
that's what it's really about.
Hmm. How many people would say by raising your hands, thumbs up, yeah, shaking your head, you have a plan for prospecting? It can just be you have coffee every week with your friends, you do happy hour, you play tennis, you play volleyball, you have a book club. Can anybody in this room say, I absolutely have a prospecting plan? Confidently.
It's
Yes, no?
disorganized, but I have one.
Okay. Hey, that's something. That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Anybody else? So? No, yes. Okay, Mike says a yes. Anybody else? All right, well, they're in the right room. Okay, so let's talk about that. So just think about this. What if every week you reached out to 5 people, just 5 friends? Hey, how you doing? Do you want to go to coffee? Would you like to go? I always use pickleball because that's what I do. Would you like to go to a movie? My friends and I, we actually started a group meet app because we keep running into all these single people that want to get together, all sitting home alone. So we started a little app and we just have been adding people to it. So eventually on a Saturday, if 5 people want to go canoeing or go to a movie or go shopping or find something fun to do, we're starting to do that because we're all sitting home by ourselves. The other thing is if you put it out there, I'm a believer of what your intentions are. And if you put it out there, all of a sudden you will start running into people. So a couple weeks ago, I went for my annual mammogram and I heard somebody talking in the room next to me. And I was just like, oh, who's that lady? Boy, she's really friendly, blah, blah, blah. And I come out and I got my, my little robe on and and then I take a double take and I'm like, oh my goodness, is that you? I haven't seen her in years and years and years. And we're like, oh, let's get together. We want to catch because we were catching up and the lady was waiting for us. And so that connection was there. And then like, oh, let's get together. Well, then guess what happens? We don't usually do it. So I made an intention, a purpose to contact her, get her phone number, and I got together with her last week. Just reconnecting with some people. Just over and over, I had been just talking about somebody and wondering whatever happened to them. Went to their Facebook and I looked up to say, where did they go? I haven't seen them in a while. Guess what? I'm at Meyer getting groceries. Oh my gosh, there she is. So remember, if you make it your intention, the opportunities will show up. So today we hope one of the things is that when you leave this class today, you will open up that intention, you will look for opportunities and you will follow up with them. And it's three things. It's making the connection, being consistent, and having the conversations. Conversations equal closings. And peer closing, genuine, right? But you just have to genuinely have those conversations with people. So what would happen if you reached out to 5 friends? What if you volunteered 5 times? What if you went to 5 events? What if you attended 5 community or religious gatherings, or you just said hello to 5 people every week, every month? What do you think what would happen? Anybody think that would change your business?
Yeah.
Are we open to doing it? And that can include just one of your past clients or an old friend you haven't seen in a while say, how you doing? I've been thinking about you. I do it all the time.
Yeah, and it's also going to expand your contacts in your phone. The more
Yes.
people you're meeting, the more opportunities you have to bump into people. Because
Yep.
if you're not meeting people, you're not expanding your business. Keep thinking about, I am a business owner. I have started a small business and I intend to grow a big business, but I need a business plan. And part of my business plan in the beginning is connecting. It's all you have to be doing. I
Mhm.
I like the idea of the digital business card. Create something, take a picture of your business card, go through your list of contracts, and maybe every day send 5 people a note that says, hey, you know what? I just wanted to let you know we haven't bumped into each other in a while. I've started something new. Here's what I'm doing. Here's the broker I've partnered with, and this is why. And if you're thinking about buying or selling, or you know someone, I hope you think of me. And,
Mhm.
I mean, you can craft something nice that feels very authentic, but it's a way to put your name out there. Because if you don't put it out there, I can guarantee you one thing, someone else will bump into that person who is a realtor who they will remember. So,
Mhm.
I think
Yep.
everybody should get a pet. I think that's a great way to meet people. I really
Yep.
do.
yeah.
Yep. Everyone talks to you when you have a pet.
You
Well, they're
do.
actually, they say hi, and then you realize they're saying hi to your dog instead of you.
Well, you can get your dog a little coat that says 5 star or whatever,
Yeah.
but it really is a great way to connect with people because most people are animal lovers.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a
So,
way into it's a window into their heart,
Yeah,
yes.
just by bumping into them.
and it's authentic. It's not fake. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a way to even practice, I guess, too.
Hmm.
Yep. So we've been talking about the 4 pillars. Number one is prospect, prospect, prospect. Number two is connect. Be connecting with people genuinely. This is very important to the health of your business. And right now we are heading square into spring. So who have you been talking to? Who's in your pipeline? What you got, Tracy?
I'm
Oh,
crossing my fingers
yeah. Oh,
for spring.
for spring? Yeah, we're all crossing our fingers for spring. So do what you love. That makes it super easy. Is just go do what you love. If you like to play mahjong, go play mahjong. If you like to cook, invite people over. Some of the newer agents that I've worked with, I always ask them, what do you love to do? Have a little social gathering. One of the newer agents, she's been inviting people to her house once a month. They love to play games. They cook some food. They all hang out. She's already had 2 transactions from it.
Yeah.
So,
How about playing euchre or something like that, but do it
yes,
like this. If I'm going to invite Kim over to play euchre and Cindy is going to come with me, I'm going to invite Cindy to bring two friends and Kim to bring two friends. That just expanded my world by people they know because I don't know. Now I'm not going to do it with two other realtors, obviously, bad
right.
examples, but
Yes,
you see what I'm saying? Like use your friends to help build your sphere of influence as well. We've done beer tastings and bourbon tastings and wine tastings. I mean, have everybody bring some. It doesn't cost a lot of money to do those things unless you like really expensive bourbon and wine, but
right. And I know realtors love to hang with other realtors, and I really believe it's good for you to do to get that relationship and the mentoring, but be sure you're balancing that with other people outside of realtors because they are your competition. So have those like relationships where you sharpen each other and you help each other, but also balance that with the rest of the world so that you're building your sphere and spending time with your clients and possible, with your sphere basically.
yeah,
So,
iron sharpens iron.
yes.
And honestly, when you decide to do something new, and I think Paul gave this example at some point, but it was about pickleball. And this is like the big thing everybody's talking about right now. But when you decide you want to do something new, whether it's play pickleball, whether you want to, become an artist or you want to get into carpentry, you have to take time to study it. You have to immerse yourself into it to know all the ins and outs about it to become an expert. And for you, part of becoming an expert is getting your first client, which is why connecting is so important because it's really hard to learn the business in the absence of a client because
Mhm.
there's no better way to learn than when your hair is literally on fire. So,
Mhm.
what we want to do is just help encourage you to be a connector and all the different ways that you need to do to become a really good connector.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about some of those things now. So how many of you have maybe a database from another business? Sometimes you come from another industry. Okay. Chris does. Okay. Anybody else where you have, so like someone like Joni, I'm sure has a very large past client that is that who you're nurturing, Joni? Okay. What about Michelle? You've got your team. Tell us a little bit. How many years have you been in the business, Michelle?
You talking to me?
Yep.
Okay. Um, I've been at 8 years now.
Okay. And you have a
Um,
team.
Yep, we just started with the team. So a lot of my business is either a past client or those clients referring people to me because I still try to stay on top of things with Facebook, birthdays, anniversaries. I do Christmas cards, mail to them every year just to try to stay top of mind. And so far it seems to be
Mm-hmm.
working.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I
By the
like
way,
it.
Michelle's team name is the Sold By Group. I absolutely love it. Every time I walk by her door, it's such a great name. And so I know we have newer agents here, we have seasoned agents here. So it's always the same principle. Continue to stay in touch, stay top of mind, but you also need to be adding to your database. There is a video that we share with agents by Ninja about how to manage your database. And that's a really good clip. If you're not following Ninja, they have daily tips that are really good for business building. And so, if you have another business out there, you can market that one. Chris, do you use that database to help grow your business? Oh, you're muted.
Yes. So the only thing I use it for is I take a lot of that information for mailers. But mostly Christmas calendar mailers. All the people that I've known for, a decade or more from that other business who, a lot of those are repeat customers I've put into my real estate calendar mailing. Which some of them have sold houses with other realtors, but I keep trying.
Mhm.
Mhm. Okay, that's awesome. So we're going to talk to you a little bit. Tell us. We want your brain to kick in here and tell us what, if you don't want to share what you're already doing, but let's talk about where's your brain looking to do, what else can you be doing? We want to expand your growth. We want to expand. Do you need to do more of one thing? Is there something else you could be doing? Tracy, let's just go ahead and hit some of these topics, and then why don't we come back, let them think about it, like all the different ways that we can be prospecting. If anybody else wants to chime in, and Cindy, why don't you start us off? We've been talking about a few things, but there are many, many ways that you can build your business and connect with people.
Yeah, early on in the business, I got together with lenders and all that, and I got quite a bit of referral business starting there. Um,
Okay.
Now it is a lot of referral business, but I also concentrate on because a lot of times when I'm working with somebody, their family comes along in that. So I'll
Mhm.
send them cards and say, hey, it was just really great meeting you. And, I really appreciate you helping throughout the transaction and all that. So this time of year, I'm more nurturing doing that. In fact, today I had a couple ideas for a couple um, clients, their families who actually referred them to me and everything. So I like to keep in touch. I keep in touch more on how it works for me, being myself, calling them and just saying, "Hey, I was thinking about you today. I wanted to see how you were doing. I know you had mentioned, your dog may have been sick or, something like that." I enjoy that, and I feel like that's more who I am.
Mhm.
I'll do some mailings and that, but if I overthink things like that, it just makes me get too confused. And the important thing in real estate is do something.
Mhm.
It really doesn't matter. You can compare yourself to all of everybody else, but if you do something in real estate, it really will benefit you.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Anybody
think Cindy makes a really good point there. It doesn't matter what you're doing, it's that you're doing something.
Yeah.
And I think it's good that we have this thing called social media today that we all have a window into the world of the people who do lots of things. But that's not to say that's what you're supposed to be doing. You might be a person that's not a social media person. So why would I ever put a video out about something? I would much rather just pick up the phone. Like
else?
Doug Hale, one of the nicest people you ever meet. He makes you feel good just when he walks in the room.
Mhm.
But his wife talks about the fact that in the morning, he's always in the corner on the phone and he's making those, 5 or 10 calls, whatever it is. I think it's 5 calls a day he does. But that's how he starts his day, connecting, right? And I don't know what methodology he uses for it, but you already pay for the phone. The phone numbers are already in there. So why not take advantage of it and just make the calls, even though they're uncomfortable?
And one of the things I'm sure he does is he checks in during life moments that Cindy mentioned on social media. That's a great way. One of my clients had their second baby. They weren't even supposed to be able to have children, and they're on baby number two. They put up like a food like gift cards, a food train where they send money over or send a card. So I'll donate to that, and then I'll send a card, or I'll send a baby gift, or just a cute little, little plushie with the little pacifier, something to stay in contact and to just be thinking of them. If somebody passes away, I write sympathy cards or a thinking of you cards. One of the things that we do at Five Star that where we nurture our agents is when something happens, you'll see often flowers posted on Connect. So whatever budget you have, even a card, you can buy those in bulk on Amazon. So look for those life moments. Look for ways to support what they're doing. So what else? So we've got work with your sphere of influence, do something you love. Pick a couple of these, and at the end, I want to hear from you. What are you doing? What can you do more of? Just to share that there are options and what can we be doing more of. So be connecting, do your favorite thing, which whether it's golf, pickleball, cooking class, sewing, book clubs, crochet,
Mhm.
knitting, art, lots of things that you can just go have fun and you're just going to meet people. Database from another business, sphere of influence, social media, looking for those life moments. What else do we have here, Tracy? Just to kind of trigger some of the things
Yeah,
that,
just where are the charitable things happening in your community?
yeah.
Join in. That's a perfect place where you have people who are all like-minded, who have a heart of giving. You could be
Mhm.
doing some kind of a project, working elbow to elbow with people who are like-minded like yourself. So
Yep.
don't dream of like things that are outside your wheelhouse. Just
Right.
figure out like what is it that I could do? What do I like to do? And usually those things are already happening around you. You just have to figure out how to join.
Hmm.
Or in your neighborhood, we all probably live in a neighborhood, your neighbors and that, there's nothing wrong with, I always look at it for me, it's like practicing, but
Mhm.
talking with them and letting them know what you do. Because the worst thing to do is come home and find out that there's a for sale sign in your
Yeah.
neighbor's yard
That's
right
awful.
next to you. I mean,
Yeah.
that is like the
Yep.
worst.
Yeah. I'll give you a great example. In my neighborhood, on my street, there were three realtors. We all lived on the same side of the street, probably three of us within six houses of each other. One of them was a team member of one of the biggest teams in my community. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then another guy who had been a commercial guy forever was in my neighborhood, and he joined the board. And then he started bringing in the food trucks every week, and he started going to the food truck, and he started bumping into people. Boom, he was there. And next
Hmm.
thing you know, Eric was getting all the leads. You know why? Because Eric showed up. So you know what I started doing? I'm not wasting my time right here. I'm not spending my dollars right here. Eric's got it. It's pretty clear. He owns the food trucks that come,
Yep.
he organizes it, but he found a way to insert himself into what was happening in the neighborhood. And it was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
Hmm.
when I would sell a house, he would post it on Facebook and say, "Hey, I just wanted to welcome." I'm like, "What the heck?" But you know what? He is a good marketer and he knows what he's doing. And he took advantage of an opportunity that really no one else saw. So be like Eric, don't be like Tracy.
Yeah, that's a great example. Great example. As Tracy said, it's so hard when they show up in your neighborhood.
Oh my
And
gosh, it's the
and
worst.
I'm the worst at it. I do not market my neighborhood. I have sold many homes in here.
Yeah.
I bring the buyers in, then they become my seller.
Mhm.
But I don't know everybody here. I walk these two cul-de-sacs often. I just don't market them. And so
Yeah.
we have to get better at that. I did add a couple of them that I know to my newsletter, and now they always send me an email. I got your letter today. It was so great. And so you're looking for that feedback, right?
Yeah.
Like we had an example that Paul shared with us from one of our agents the other day. I won't tell his story, but he's on the call today of something that he talked with Paul about doing, and he did it. And he shared yesterday how he was getting all these responses back. So it is the pillars are basically prospect, connect, and then the third thing is conversation. And then the fourth thing is delivering and performing. These are following up. It's all the same principles, but we're really focused at this point of the session is what else can you be doing? Like there are ways to be in front of people. You cannot be a secret agent. Where are you playing in traffic? Where are you visible? How are you staying top of mind? Because there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of buttons that can be clicked on this computer. There's a lot of other ways, and you want them to pick up your phone and call you. So we also have a thing out or a handout called 150 Ways to Build Your Business. If anybody wants that, I'm happy to send that out to you all today. It's a ninja. We also have 100 Ways boot camp that Paul and Leo did. That's part of our um, training session here. They're on the website. But if to be sure, I can send both of those out to you. Ways to trigger. What can you be doing once we have our sphere, we're connecting, we're having conversations. It's always about nurturing. It's nurturing the people in your world and being their go-to. Simply as um, I had somebody reach out to me and said, "Hey, do you have a plumber that could help me?" And so I helped them get that plumber. And then it's really important to, even if it's part of your mailing or part of your conversation, call me. Let me be your connector. I have a lot of contractors for you. It's so hard to stay in touch for 7 years, 8 years, if they're not somebody who's in your immediate sphere. So you want those conversations I start sending out anniversary cards. Some of them are 13 years since I've talked to them. 13.
Yeah.
Know what I write? Happy home anniversary. I can't believe it's been 13 years since you bought your house. Smiley face. I hope it's been great, filled with laughter and memories. Just wanted to, say hello. And if you have any questions about anything or real estate, I'm here. Give me a call. Boom. Whatever.
Yeah.
ChatGPT is your friend. Tell her
Yeah.
what you want to say. I'm sending them out every month after 13 years of not doing it. It's I just sent my February ones out. I have a quarterly newsletter, and if you've been with me on this journey, I didn't really work my business very much up until the last few years. So now I've graduated. Get them every quarter. I'm adding people. So what are you doing? It's something like Tracy started this out. You decide to start a business, but how are you growing it? And as I teach classes, sometimes that over the past few years, like, you're not really doing anything, Kim, you know?
Yeah.
And so this is where I want to be a doer of what I'm teaching you to do. And I love it. It's like, oh my gosh, they just called me. Oh my gosh, they just gave me a referral. So just get that going.
But don't you
Yeah.
find you feel better when you do something? You
Yes.
know, you're mailing
Yeah.
out a card. It's like you have, I love being able to check that off my list, or making that phone call that you keep worrying and stressing about, like, what am I going to say? I'm going to sound like an idiot and all this and that. And you do it, and it went so much better.
hmm Guess
Yeah.
who's
I
my
mean,
best? Go ahead, Tracy.
I was just going to say you're keeping the ball in play.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
ball is not going to move if you don't get on the field with it and keep, pushing it forward
hmm
with all the little things that we know we have to do to be a connector.
Yeah.
hmm I was just going to say one of my best referral partners is my hygienist. I have been friends with her for 20 some years, but over the last 4 or 5 years, she started sending me referrals. She sent me many. And it's just people that cut your hair, people um, that provide your dentistry. So when I go in there and they're like, oh, well, you need right now 2 implants. And then I'll just kind of laugh about it and I go, well, I'll have to sell some more houses then. And they'll go, we'll send you people.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
just have to kind of keep backing into it, right? And they're like, hey, if I have anybody, I'll send them to you. So once again, now we're moving into having those conversations and
Yeah.
just keep talking about it.
Yeah. Well, and when we talked about volunteering in your community, how do you
Mhm.
use a volunteer opportunity in your community on your social media? We want to be telling stories,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing I want. And if you can become a good storyteller before you even have business, this is where you're going to get fans. Okay.
Mhm.
And so I'll use the example of volunteering. Say you volunteer for Habitat for Humanity. Do you know how many people know what Habitat for Humanity is? You're immediately going to make a connection with people who know what you just did, that it was a volunteer of your time. It was sweat equity. It was hard work. And tell a story because you're wanting people to follow the story. Maybe it's a 3 or 4 week investment that you did working for Habitat for Humanity. And now you can tell what you did in week one and then week two. Pretty soon they're like, oh, what happened? Week three's coming. Wonder what happened this week, and so on. We had an agent of ours, Jason Sharinga, I think it was Jason, was redoing a house because he flipped some houses.
Mhm.
And he started by saying, like, this color brick or this color brick,
Mhm.
this color paint or this color paint. And pretty soon he had a fan base that was following along, going, this percent loved this color, this percent loved another. And it was amazing. And all he was doing was inviting the public along. So, no, you don't have any closings yet. You don't even have your first client, but maybe you'll start telling the story about the first client when you start working with them. Not about you're just listed, not about you're just sold. Maybe hey, I've got a new client that I'm working with from X city. Uh, our first city that we went to look at houses in was this. She was up just amazed by the downtown area in this X city. And so now the conversation becomes, I'm out showing houses. The public knows now, oh, Chris has business, Jill has business, and she's out showing houses in this community. And look, she's highlighting this area. Once you
Mhm.
get the sale, it might be instead of just sold, right? It might be the story
The
about the
story.
client who just moved here. Maybe something significant happened in the transaction where you help them in a significant way, where they're going to wave your flag. but
Mhm.
have it be about the story, not about the sale. Does that make
Yep.
sense?
Absolutely. Instead of just saying just listed, just sold, the story. I'll do things like last Christmas it was December and how I helped my clients who did not want to be in the snow anymore, and I showed them leaving Kalamazoo for Palm Springs, helping them get their dream, get their vision, different things like that. It's going to go a lot further than just listed to, you're making it about them and the
Yeah.
story. That's where, if you think about good books, good music, country music, songs we love, they're all a story. So we are storytellers. The Bible is storyteller. So those are good ways to put it out there and engage, those around you. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I was going to say this. You need to be seen, and that can
Mhm.
be by the phone, right? That they need to be seen so they'll hear from you. But you also need to be known. Being seen and being known are two things because they're going to see you and hear from you, whether they bump into you at church or in your neighborhood, at the pool, where at your kid's school. Let's not forget that's a nice place
Yeah,
to get
soccer.
referrals as
Yeah.
well. But they need to know you. They need to know that you're in real estate. So you need to layer this new thing in because you're new. And Michelle's got a growing business, but you know what she's doing? She's still a learner. We're all a
Mhm.
student of the market. We all can show up to any class and walk away going, okay, that was a good reminder, or I never thought of that before. And so that's what I want you to think about. You have to be seen, but you have
Mhm.
to be known. And for you, you're adding this new thing called real estate into your known. They knew me as Tracy, and they knew all the things depending on who they were, where they knew me from, but they didn't know me in real estate because my letter to them said, "Hey, everybody, it's Tracy. Y'all know I'm a loser, and you know me through all these different places, but I'm trying something new. So I don't know anything today, but let me tell you about the people behind me that are going to help me in this journey called real estate. So if you know of somebody thinking of buying or selling, geez, I hope you'd think of me.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's
Just
the known piece.
It's awesome. Yep. Um, So let's talk about what are the last few ways? How about you start your own business networking group? That works really well. If you some people I know or some agents have their own networking group, but start your own. So charity, outreaches, community events. I've sold houses to the director of two nonprofits in this city that I was helping. So I want to hear from you. Anybody willing to share like do you have any new aha moments right now? Anything that you're not doing and you'd like to say, man, I want to do this, but I'm just not really sure how to do it. Talk to us. Give us a little feedback. What are you thinking?
Well, I was a little slow going as far as getting out in the community, and I was trying a little bit. But I just the other day, I just for some reason decided to just go to Salvino's and you know, have a salad and play some Keno. And
Hmm.
right away, I had two people walk up to me about my real estate business. And, I was
Awesome.
minding my own business. Really, I wasn't doing anything. And I picked up a builder who wants to do 8 transactions a year. So that was
That's
good.
that's
And then
great.
I'm gonna organize a neighborhood garage sale or yard sales in June. So I'm gonna start with that marketing now so people can start thinking about what they want to put in the yard sales. And then I was thinking about doing a hot dog food truck or something, but make it a big kind of event kind
Mhm.
of thing.
Hmm.
So
I
just
love
a
it.
few things.
No, thanks for sharing. That's awesome.
That's great. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love the neighborhood thing, depending on where you live and how many people are there. You already have one big thing in common, and it's where you live. And who doesn't love where they live? Most people do. They love, that's why they're there. So
Hmm.
great
Yeah.
idea.
And
Yeah. And then,
I'm originally from Allegan area, so I know a lot of people. I could just stand at Meyer and talk to 10 people that will walk up to me.
Be there, right? Go to Meijer
Yeah,
every day. Buy a new
exactly.
grocery item every day.
Yeah, I'll see
That's
him by the
perfect.
bananas.
Yeah, say buy the bananas. That works. That would be your theme. I'll
Yeah,
be here at the bananas in Meyer at 10 a.m. Come see me.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, and there's a lot to be said about the morning doing these things, being out there, the morning Facebook connections, personal notes and cards, newsletters, past client reviews. We didn't really get to that too much. I will tell you, I watch my social media, and I want to go back to what Tracy said about the just listed and the just sold. And sometimes when I get the story just right, I'll get some likes. But you want to know where I get the most interaction? Is when I shared this fall. And I had a tough decision if I was going to do that or not, but I felt like I wanted to watch through my mom's passing hundreds and hundreds of comments. And it's hard to put something out there because you're not looking for pity and you're not looking for sympathy. But for some reason, I decided I was going to be transparent and I shared that whole journey. So much interaction. When I share my vulnerabilities are really, you have to decide, but that's when I get an interaction. If I share, I just listed, 6 likes. Eh, nobody cares. They really don't care. Honestly, in my world, they don't really care.
Well, they expect that. They expect that you're buying and selling
Yeah.
houses,
So you
right?
have to drip it, right? You
Mhm.
have to drip it. You have to drip the market. You're curious about the market. We post that every month. Absolutely. So it's that 80-20 rule or 70-30 of sharing. They want to know your life and your story. And then you drip in, hey, this is what I do. So it is that. What other things? This class always goes really, really fast for us. One of the things you can do, and you see agents do that, go out and promote another business. Hey, I'm over here at this coffee shop today. I'm at Big B, and today this is where we're at. They have this really cool Valentine's drink that they're promoting, or whatever you want to do. Highlight where you're getting your hair cut. Highlight one of your contractors. Promote other people because then they're going to enjoy that it's all about them, and also their sphere's going to see it. What if you had a postcard that says, or a post that says, contact me. Are you thinking you need to replace your roof? Let me come take a look. Is it worth your investment to get new windows? Call me. Let's talk about it. Should I improve my kitchen? How much improvement? Just a lot of different questions. If you ask questions, it's going to kick their brain in more than just saying. What
Right.
other thoughts do we have here about
Well, that's engagement. Like that's what you're
engagement?
talking about. Like what
Yeah,
kinds of things can you offer of value,
value. Yeah,
right? So that that becomes part of your story. Like, oh, okay, Amberine, if I work with her, she knows a lot of people that, work on homes. I'm constantly seeing that she's got painters or roofers or, what's the value of working for me? What do I bring to the table? So
right.
again, it's part of your story as a realtor, right? They know Kevin as a neighbor, a friend, a family member. But then they get to know these other things about them. And these become the reasons why they want to work with Mike. Because, well, I remember hearing Mike's story of this one buyer he worked with, and he helped that buyer get a new roof on the house before they closed. Like that leaves an impression on people. They're curious.
I'll tell you a story about an agent I've been helping, and she called me and she said, we've got the report back, and my buyer is good with it all. I said, okay, tell me the address. Let me go look at it. She goes, there's a couple things on here. I'm just not really sure that we should let go. So I helped her, and she ended up going back, and the buyer was absolutely okay with what they saw, but she's the pro.
She's the advice giver.
She's the advice giver. So we talked about, she went back and she said, this isn't okay. We need to address this issue of the mold in the attic. Before it was done, he would have never addressed that. He was okay without having the vents redone. And then the radon came back high, and he was okay with all of it. But she was the pro, and she negotiated. He thinks she is the hero because all it's getting ready to close. They're getting the mold fixed, the vents put in, and a radon system put in. Thousands of dollars.
Mhm.
And so those are the things where your expertise comes in, and those are the stories they tell. They go back and tell others, and they'll tell their friends about. Um, so really good conversation. So we've got prospecting, connecting, having conversations, and for the last few minutes here, follow up. Let's talk about how important follow up is in everything that we do. So um, some people can follow up without a CRM. You don't have to go buy a fancy program. But however you follow up, and then you've all saw that we have a new home base coming to 5 Star as a tool for some follow up for anniversary cards and things. So Cindy, how important is follow-up in your business?
Very, very important. And if you tell somebody you're going to do something, especially a client, you got to do it because they all, they may love you, but if you say you're going to call and you don't call or you're going to do something, they will remember that because we know how we are.
Mhm.
But follow-up's real important. That's why, like, the January, February, I'm always trying to mail out a card. Just, hey, how you doing? How's the house? Maybe getting together for a lunch or that. But can I do better? Absolutely. Follow up has always been one that you have to strive to, I don't know, put on your list. Do this, do that.
You know how I look at follow-up? I look at follow-up this way. Follow-up is all part of the having a memorable experience,
Mhm.
right? Because the follow-up is what keeps the relationship moving. So without it, the experience is somehow, well, it just ended at the closing table or maybe a month later or whatever. But part of the experience is staying in the flow with people. And that's another ninja word is
Mhm.
how do I stay in the flow of people so that because you can have a really memorable experience during the transaction, but if it just ends there, you kind of lose them. So I think about follow up as creating a memorable experience that's ongoing.
Yes. I just remembered, Tracy, you wanted me to share the screen on
Oh, yeah.
the lead. So
Yeah.
there's working with for sale by owners, there's working expireds, sign calls off your listing, neighborhood Facebook pages. I'm just going to read some of these.
Yeah.
Farming, sponsoring events.
Yeah,
Yep.
where we were kind of going was we were just talking about like it's really hard, you guys, to get your first deal. And
Mm,
we don't know who you know. And I don't know, we just don't know. But we know that the likelihood that your first transaction is going to come from somebody you already know, you already trust.
mm.
They know you, they like you, they trust you. Sorry. But there are all these other ways that people are looking for business today too. And we all hear about the Zillow thing and whether you're a fan or you're not a fan, it's paying for leads up front and they're very expensive. But I came across this on social media. I see it quite often in some of the real estate groups, but these are in the blue banner it says no upfront fee lead sources. So a lot of these are companies that you pay at close. So they give you a lead, and then there's usually a high, probably 40 or 50% split. And I can tell you this, I don't know anything about any of them. I have not worked with one of those companies. I know a lot of our agents work with Veterans United. And so that's one that I hear a lot. Upnest is one I hear a lot about. But I would just encourage you, take a picture of the screen, do some investigating on these to see if you can make connections, because all you need to do is make a connection and then figure out how to stay in touch with that person and the next person and the next person until pretty soon you got, 1,500 to 2,000 people in your database. And in fact, Greg referred yesterday to the database as, I think he called it your friend base, because a friend base,
People base. I think you said
people
people
base,
base.
there you go. That was
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
base.
That was very good. Yep.
And I like that because that's what it is.
Mhm.
It's your people. These are your
Mhm.
people. Database just sounds benign. It doesn't have
Yeah.
a face or a name. There's no emotion. When you see a name, it evokes an emotion. So I like the idea of I'm going to give them that. I liked although I didn't remember it. I thought it was friend based, but people
Yeah.
based.
I caught it too. I thought it was really
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
really good.
So
Hey,
yeah,
So,
thank you.
yeah.
Kim,
Yes.
the example earlier that Paul gave you, was he referring to what I did?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to give your business out. So if you
Yeah,
want
go
to
ahead,
No,
share
tell
no,
the
no,
this
no.
with,
story.
So here's the deal for me. It's kind of a biblical thing for me. Knowledge is not something we own. Knowledge to me is to be shared. So Paul has always been gracious about, and you can share anything I do with anybody, Kim, in any other future
okay.
Zoom meetings. But
Okay.
Paul at one time he did a Zoom meeting, and he said, "Hey, if anybody wants to have me look at their business plan or what they're currently doing, I'd love to sit down with you." So I took him up on that.
Yeah.
I mail out. In fact, I've got 750 postcards for St. Patrick's Day on my wife's desk, and she's going to address those for me. I send out postcards to all my friends, past clients, people that I'm working with, I call them my core 300. That's a SWAT team term. I hit them 4 times a year. I'm farming different areas in my community. Whenever I see a house that has great curb appeal, I stop, I grab the address, they get a card. If it attracts me, it'll attract somebody else. So Paul said, "Hey, you're doing a great job with the postcards." But he also said, "Look, why don't you switch it up?" So last summer, he said, "Why don't you send out ice cream coupons for a free ice cream cone at your local Dairy Queen or Dairy Treat?" And I did that, and the results I got from that, I sent to all my clients and current, friends that I've sold with, was phenomenal. So just recently, I took him up on the idea of not sending out postcards for the month of February, and I bought, man, piles of gift cards for past clients and who I call my advocates. I've received more phone calls. I went to Eddie Alexander's restaurant in Fruitport, and I bought cards for my clients that live around that way. And Pints and Courts over by the Muskegon office was another one I just received, and I've received more calls from my clients. I just received a text message this morning. "Thanks for the Harris gift card. Hope everything is doing good with you. We'll certainly keep you in mind if we know of any friends that might need your services. Thanks again."
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've had other friends who I did Bernio's Pizza in North Muskegon for a bunch of friends that live around that area, and they called and said, "Hey, thanks so much. Are we going to get our ice cream coupon for the summer?" So it's just my goal is to stay top of mind, and I do it relentlessly. I'm wearing my 5-star hat, and you don't have the time for me to share everything I do, but it all works.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed, I saw your video you did outside the pizza place the other day. And that's the thing about news feeds. You never know where they're going to show up. And what he did by Paul just, encouraging him in a different way was he just said, "I'm going to try something different." And when he did, you can hear the gratification, like it's working. I don't just have to do this and this. I can do this, 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 and this. And you might throw out the first one altogether eventually. You might, you just never know where it's going to go. I started doing, Scott, sending $1 lottery tickets in my
Mm-hmm.
home anniversary cards that I did. And I would always come up with
Cool.
some cute little saying about it, like, whatever it was, but about, the lottery ticket, like, good luck, and always finish with good luck. But I'd have some funny little thing. I could do it so much better now. I don't do them anymore, but just with ChatGPT, it could write some
Yeah.
cute little
Yeah.
meme for me or a poem or something. But what it did is I can tell you that every month I sent it out, if I sent out, 40 anniversary cards that month, I will tell you at least 3 to 4 people would reach back to me. Now, it was always somebody different, but 3 to 4 different opportunities where they reached out and said, "Wow, thanks so much. I didn't win anything, but I hit the lottery when I met you." Or "Hey, I won $5, and it just created a dialogue. So then there would be a quick exchange back and forth that wouldn't have happened if you didn't send out the ice cream cards, if I didn't send out the home anniversary cards, whatever it is, just do something.
Yeah, it's,
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting. Everybody operates differently. I have 1,400 contacts on my phone, and let's see, my calendar. What time is I have call 2 friends in my contacts for my phone on
Mhm.
my calendar every day. But it's different than my database. My database, I have 140 people that either are my advocates, past clients, or current clients, and I look at it as each person has 100 people behind them that they could recommend me to them. I send
Yeah.
them birthday cards, home anniversary cards for them. I've got a stack right here, mail February 16th. I'll be doing that for the next two. And I
Mm-hmm.
get more people calling me as opposed to me calling them.
I love that. Yep. This is awesome. Lots of great conversation. Pop buys. We're talking about the same kind of thing. Pop buys. There are so many different ways. So just in closing, Follow-up is very important. If you have a CRM, have a spreadsheet, have a system for being accountable to that. My anniversaries are on a spreadsheet right now, but hopefully they'll go into our new system. Just have a way to keep in touch, because where you have a lull in keeping in touch, there'll be a lull in your business. So even though you get really busy or you just want a break because it's cold, that's the time to be ramping up your business. That's the time right now to be filling that pipeline. Spring is right on top of us, and then it's going to be go time. So, any final thoughts? Anybody? Was this class good for you? Chris says, "Are you asking them for their birthday info?" Is that to Scott?
Yeah.
I use Wise Agent,
Okay.
and I get so many credits per month where if I have their email address, their telephone number, that Wise Agent will actually scrub and look for birthdays. And
Okay.
then obviously social media, I look at all my friends. It's kind of creepy, but I do.
Yep.
I'll stalk Chris and say, oh, he's January, but you won't have the date as far as the year, but you'll have the date. So I just add that to my Wise Agent, and I send it out. I always make sure they receive it a week before their birthday, and then I call them 2 days before to, hey, well, Chris, what do you have planned for your birthday? Oh, you're going to the Hearthstone. I love that place.
Nice. Very nice. You are efficient. I'll take some tips from you, Scott. All right. I always love this class. Any final thoughts, Tracy? Anybody else want to share anything that you just want to be accountable? Like, this is my takeaway. I want to say it
Yeah.
out loud. Anybody? All right.
I will say this, that have your goal be that your friends see you as their trusted resource.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even just try to create new things. I am the queen of copying things. I decorated my whole house by taking pictures of things and figuring out how can I recreate this and do it cheaper with a dupe. That's what I do. So follow people on social media, rip and duplicate. Don't try to create, you're just getting started. See what people are talking about and figure out how to become people's trusted resource.
Mm-hmm.
Connect, connect, connect.
Tracy, that's huge. I could just quick story. I received a phone call from a client in Arizona. I started 6 years ago, and I worked with a lot of contractors. And she sent me a text that she was looking for roofing contractors and smooth stucco. So I spent a few hours. Her husband said, "Well, silly, you need to call Scott because she still gets my postcard." So you're right. You have to be a resource if you're going to be in
Hmm.
this business.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Well, thank you all.
Yeah, thank you all. It's good to see you all today. And if you'd like to talk with any of our team one-on-one, reach out to us. We're always happy to do that. If you want to talk more, if you say, could we meet? I want to brainstorm a few things with you. We're here to do that with you. And as usual, if you have any questions for the broker support team, reach out to us. We're always happy to help. And spring is right around the corner. So looking forward to being a resource as you move forward and what 2026 will bring. So everybody have a great rest of your week. I love we have sunshine. So um, call us if you need us. Thanks for being here. All right. See you later. Bye-bye.